today was the Sony Cinemacon presentation. Well, not today, but it was yesterday. Kind of late to this, so I'm expecting this to be uploaded in the morning. There wasn't too much I really want to talk about that. We just saw Ian Reitman presenting a new Ghostbusters film. We had apparently there was new footage for Across the Spider-Verse. Now, later tonight, expect a video for me celebrating, talking about the Flash trailer, the Flash reviews that we're gonna get, because today is really Flash Day essentially. Actually, I might even do a live stream. I don't know. I'm gonna consider it. But yeah, anyways, the main thing I really want to talk about is the Kraven the Manhunter stuff. Now, this is a movie that I feel has been going under the radar. I feel like no one's talking about it. There's no one hyping it up, and for good reason. Obviously, right now, Sony does not have a good track record, having released Morbius. Even the Venom movies, while yes, they've done well financially, and there's a good fandom for them, they're not like these movies, kind of like, I would say, like Iron Man or Captain America films. They're not like these types of movies where, there might be one mediocre one. Actually, I disagree with. I actually can't use a good example right now. I apologize, but the Sony Marvel universe so far hasn't made a great film. And when you're doing a cinematic universe, and look, by the way, I'm gonna say this right now, I like Morbius. I actually like the movie. I won't lie to you. I gave it a good review. I was one of the first people to actually give it a good review on YouTube. Also, my camera is not focusing. Maybe I'm a little too far, but I also really like the first two Venom films, especially Let There Be Carnage, and I'm excited for the Sony Spider-Man universe. But this Kraven movie, I feel like, has not been talked about, and I feel like, the main reason, obviously, is because of Morbius. Morbius genuinely destroyed the Sony Marvel universe, at least for right now. We will have to wait to see. But one thing that really intrigued me, and by the way, Aaron Taylor Johnson, amazing. And when I watched Bullet Train, him playing Tangerine, I loved him as Tangerine. I love Bullet Train. Bullet Train was my pleasant surprise of last year. In fact, in my top 10 rating, I put Bullet Train number 2. So there is that. But overall, what really surprised me about what they said at CinemaCon was that this is an R-rated film. That genuinely surprised me, because the Venom movies and the Morbius film, the main complaint you heard from a lot of people, besides the movie not being good, is that it wasn't R-rated. And I kind of agree. I kind of would have liked to have seen Venom bite someone's head off and you see blood splattering, or Morbius slashes someone in the neck, and then all of a sudden blood everywhere. Because I won't lie to you, I kind of want to see I feel like if Sony Marvel really wants to be different, because that is, when you do a cinematic universe, you have to differentiate yourself. Zack Snyder's DCU, I love it, and one of the main reasons why I loved Zack's DCU is it came out during the time where Marvel was being this juggernaut. But yet it was so different, because when you go watch Man of Steel or BVS, they're vastly different from Iron Man or Civil War. And I feel like one of the issues that the Sony Marvel Spider-Man universe has had is it's not differentiated itself. It's kind of been like, we want to be like Marvel, so they're trying their best to copy Marvel in every way, having this whole connected thing. Even in Morbius, they had to have two kind of cringy Venom references just to kind of be like, look guys, we have a universe, yay. And then the cringy post-credit scene that we got. And I feel like Sony, if they really want to differentiate themselves, I think you got to go more adult. You got to do what Marvel is not willing to do, because I genuinely think I mean, with Venom, it's already too late, because those movies made a lot of money without the R-rated. With Venom, it's late. But with Kraven, first of all, one advantage you have is Kraven's a character that's not been done in live action. So the general audience, this is going to be their first look at Kraven. The same applied with Morbius. So you almost are kind of starting from scratch. You're not having to worry about the predecessors. You're not having to worry about the past. And I feel like if you really, really, really want to be unique and stand out, you go R-rated, especially with the character called the Hunter. And I remember a couple months ago, there was like some leak, or I think it was Sony themselves that revealed it, but there was like a synopsis for the Kraven movie. And they said that Kraven was going to be animal friendly, environmentalist, and a lot of people got mad. Me personally, I didn't make a video about it, so not a lot of people know my opinion, but I didn't care, because at the end of the day, there's always ideas that sound stupid when you first hear it, but when it's executed, there's times that it actually sounds good. or actually does well, right? And I think that's one of my issues with movie fandom. We're too reactionary. There's too many people who are so reactionary. And I'm so glad that these reactionary people are not the ones in charge of our films, because if they were, we would have not had Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. We wouldn't have had Heath Ledger as Joker. And we wouldn't have had Chris Pratt as Mario. But no, in all honesty, from what I heard, Kraven sounds bad. I'm seeing people criticize it. So from the description that we got, we're seeing that Kraven cut someone's face off. There's a couple of F-bombs. Apparently, you're going to hear Rhino, but it's obviously not the Paul Giamatti version from The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Apparently, you hear like an actual Russian accent and not kind of like a mocking Russian accent that was supposed to be Rhino in TASM 2. And you're seeing that Kraven's brutal, he's violent, and I think that's dope. And then hearing the description we had a while back, I like this idea that Kraven is a hunter, but he doesn't hunt the weak. He's kind of like Predator. He hunts the best of the best. And I was thinking about this. I'm thinking, Sony Marvel should honestly go R-rated. But to take it one step further, because if you have a cinematic universe, you kind of need to connect these characters. I don't think they should honestly focus on Spider-Man. And I'm going to say that right now. I don't think they should focus on Spider-Man. I feel like you can do your own universe. And you don't have to do an Avengers type thing. You can just have these characters coexist, have them cross over every once in a while. I think that would be cool. But one thing that I would honestly do is have Kraven hunt Venom. Venom, who is the lethal protector of this universe, and Kraven hunts him down. I think that would be a cool idea. Now, I would have to think about that more, find out why he does it, because my assumption from what we've been told, or what we heard from Cinemacon, is Kraven does hunt the best of the best. So Venom obviously would be there. But what would be the motivation? Because Kraven from the trailer sounds ruthless. In fact, what I heard from the trailer is exactly what I was hoping for Black Adam. A violent, ruthless character that his morality is constantly questioned in the film. Black Adam didn't have that in his movie. Yeah, he was ruthless, he was violent, but there was never a moment when in the movie you thought, oh, he's evil or anything like that. Because what I hate is that people, when they heard that environmentalist thing, they assumed Kraven's a good guy. No, what you have to remember is that a lot of the Spider-Man characters, whether you go back to Goblin, Dr. Octavius, or Scorpion, or any other character, a lot of them tend to be characters you can still relate to. Characters that you can feel some type of love. Octavius in Spider-Man 2, he lost his Rosie. A Goblin in the first film, he let his ego get ahead of him. Sandman, even in the TASM films, Lizard, you could kind of relate to all these characters. And that's what makes Spider-Man villains. That, yeah, they are bad, they are evil, but you can still love and appreciate them and understand why they tried to do the things they did. Sure, it's evil. And that's what I'm hoping the Kraven film does. And that's my biggest criticism that I've had so far of the Sony Marvel universe, is the fact that these characters never feel villain or evil in any way. The closest that ever felt was probably in the first Venom film. You did feel at times that Venom could be evil, but not really, because he's just fighting bad guys, same thing with Morbius. And I feel like Kraven should have that. He's gonna hunt because the one thing I'll give the Sony Marvel, I'm sorry if I'm sounding out of like loop. I'm very mixed on this universe so far, but the one thing that this universe has done well is all the villains that we've had. That first Riot from the first Venom, Carnage, and Milo. They've all been personal villains, so they've not been save the world villains. It's not like a film like I don't know, the Captain America: The First Avenger, when he fights Red Skull. Red Skull is a villain trying to do bad across the world, and it's not something personal for Cap, or some, Far From Home, Oh, actually, that's not fair. I'm sorry if I'm sounding off the loop, but with the Sony Marvel universe, they've not really been saving the world heroes. They've been heroes who have a personal hatred towards the villain for something that happened between them, and they have to fight them. And I guess that's the one advantage I'd give it, but still, I still want these characters to feel villain-like. You gotta do that. And yeah, do anti-hero, but if you're gonna do anti-hero, you gotta really go into the villain part of that character, because I do think villains aren't just mustache twirling bad. They're like, oh, I want to destroy the world. No, villains can be more than that. Villains can be complex, and that's what you can do. That's what you did with the Joker film. You could do that, and I feel like really, 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 they need to really nail that for me. For Kraven. But anyways, I was excited for what I heard. I had no anticipation, but now, while I'm not hyped for it, it has bumped up a little bit at least, so there's that. But anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Y'all let me know in the comments what you think about the Kraven announcement, or what they said about Kraven. Whatever it is, let us know in the comment section down below, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Ciao. Live now, regret later.